Elevated Tax and Accounting is not your average accounting firm.
A lot of firms don't offer tax planning. You bring in your documents at the beginning of the tax year. We're in 2025, we're doing 2024 returns. Everybody brings in their stuff, and now it's too late for tax planning. There's all sorts of deductions or credits that could be left on the table because nobody took the time during the year to figure out whether or not those things are going to be available for that specific client. So tax planning is one of those things that we offer that's extra, that helps our clients out quite a bit.
To learn more, visit elevatedtax.com.
You're driving along on the highway and you've been hit by a semi-truck. Now what do? You call your Montana attorneys, Ryan and Miller. We have the expertise to help guide you along in these specific types of accidents. So these are the 3 steps that you need to follow. Number 1, make sure that the police are called and that there is a report of the accident. Second, make sure that you're getting the medical attention that you need and following up with your doctor. Third, do not talk to an insurance company until you've talked to an attorney. They are not going to help you protect your rights, and you want to make sure that you know all that you're entitled to. Contact an attorney today by clicking the link below.
Coach, we'll start with your first thoughts after the scrimmage.
All right, I'll try to speak up. All right. So, thoughts after scrimmage? This actually ended up being decent work for us. It's usually the worst practice of the year, just in terms of what we get done and all that. But I thought it was pretty good competition today, and I liked having the ability to divide it up into 2 teams and have the seniors draft them, and so there was some kind of spirit of competition. It was fun seeing offense and defensive guys cheer together for their team instead of offense against defense. So I thought that was great. I thought it was good.
Late, the White had the ball there. They were driving down, then the Maroon got the pick. Do you think that's sort of an example of how much these guys want to win? Because they were certainly celebrating at the end there.
Yeah, they want to win. I think, we put them in competitive scenarios all the time, and we try to make it matter, whether it's lifting weights or whatever, in conditioning or, so they want to win, and they should want to win. It shouldn't matter if it's October or if it's April. They should want to win at whatever we put them into, and I think they do. I think they're competitive.
Yeah, you have so many new faces and also young players on this team, so how important is spring ball in terms of development going into the summer and then the fall camp?
Well, that's the thing, is development. We're not game planning. We're doing none of that. So it's really about the individual taking it upon himself to try to get better every day. And our guys are learning to do that. The older guys know how. The younger guys are learning to do that. And I think our individuals on our team got better this spring. So when that happens, then collectively, obviously, your team's better.
What have you liked about Dylan Botner at center, and just what do you think of the competition you have there?
I don't know. Sometimes we got some guys banged up. Sometimes it's trying to get, we're trying to get 2 teams out here. So there's sometimes about trying to get 5 guys out there that can play at once and have 2 teams. But he's played some center this spring and done a pretty good job.
Jake threw a pair of touchdowns today, and Luke hit that bomb. Just your evaluation of your quarterback play today.
I didn't even watch him. I was watching the front. So I was watching a couple of young front guys on both sides on every play, offense, defense. So I couldn't tell you what the quarterbacks did. That's good news, so thank you.
Jake Mason and Jared Ramos made some plays. Just how Jake Mason and Jared Ramos, just how have they been coming along in their development up front there?
Again, they're inexperienced players, so there's a little up and down, but I would say overall those 2 guys had good spring practice sessions.
With this kind of being the culmination of the end of spring, kind of the wide view of it, how would you assess how spring went and what's next for you guys?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go back to, I think we had individuals get better, so that makes our team better. And there's a lot of opportunity to practice fundamentals this time of year and get fundamentally better, which helps you be a better football player. And so I think spring was good in that regard. What's next? Well, we got transfer recruiting. Genius of college football right now. We get our second session of transfer portal window and transfer recruiting. Then we get into a spring high school recruiting of juniors. Camps, our players will be in the weight room, lifting heavy starting Monday, 4 days a week. And we got, we're on the clock now, getting ready for September.
With so many new faces, just how much do you take away from games like this, how they're kind of assimilating with some of the guys who've been here for a while?
I mean, I wouldn't take much out of it today, but spring practice was good for the new guys. I like the work that they got done. I really do.
Is there anything that stood out from some of the new guys as far as them kind of getting used to what you guys do, their teammates, anything like that?
You know, yeah, I mean, the day you walk in the door, it's the Grizzly way or the highway, and they've all embraced that. And yeah, I'd say those guys have been very accepting of that attitudinally, which means they're going to be just fine.
On the offensive line, those guys adjusting to a new coach. How's that gone, and what do you like about Coach Norcross?
Well, you know, first, I mean, that's kind of the way it goes. It's never optimum to switch coaches in the middle of spring ball, but I mean, that's college football a little bit. You know, as a staff, we talked about, you know, everybody on staff has jumped into spring ball with the first day on the job, coaching guys and not knowing or speaking the language. But Coach Norcross is a veteran, coached against him a lot of times, know everything about him, and he's a competitive, great football coach, and we're lucky to have him.
A lot of young guys getting reps at wide receiver because you lost so many veteran guys there. What'd you think of that group so far this spring?
Yeah, I think our young guys have a lot of juice. As long as they're running in the right direction, it shows up. So they got a lot of work to do, like all young players do. But we've got a lot of speed in that group right now.
With the transfers you brought in, how important is it for them to be here and just sort of, like you said, learn the Grizzly way and just sort of acclimate to the team?
Well, you know, I mean, there's a reason why we practice, because we think we get better. There's a reason why we train, because we think it helps make us better. So, you know, when guys are here, it gives them a leg up. You know, back when it used to be junior college recruiting, you kind of didn't take two-year guys in August if they didn't have a redshirt year. You know, if you couldn't get them mid-year, then they had to have a redshirt year because you didn't know how fast they could come along. But the summer access part of this has increased our ability to get guys ready. And so guys now coming in June are farther ahead when you get to game one than the old JC guys that came and showed up for training camp mid-August. So there's still time for that, but it's certainly a big benefit to have guys here.
Are there any particular positions where you still want to add guys in this next transfer portal window?
Yeah, the fronts. Always the front. Both sides. You never have enough of those guys.
Being in this industry since I was in college, one of the things I think we take the most pride in is Aspen Sound's been such a presence in Missoula for over 40 years. The cool parts about our job is people always ask us what we do for a living. I sell foam, whether it's as simple as window tint all the way up to integrating a backup camera into a factory screen. I'm pretty excited about the options that we can present.
Meeting her stopped your world. The ring you give her should stop her heart.
Tina, will you marry me?
Not again! Don't worry, I'm gonna fix this. Because we want to be your jeweler! Aren't our beautiful diamond? Clear! Come back to me, Tina! Are you okay?
Great to get out here today. We've been working hard for the past couple months now. It just felt really good to get out with my boys and compete. That's what we like to do here.
Take us through the touchdown. What'd you see, and how'd you get so open?
We were in the huddle. We called a trick play, so I knew something big was going to happen, and it was come back and go. I look up, and I see the ball in there, and the rest is history.
For you, just working this last year and a half or so, you had so many veteran receivers last year. So what's the experience been like for you? What sort of things did you concentrate on when you knew you're kind of waiting your turn?
You know, it was great coming behind those guys because we had a lot of seniors. They kind of took me under their wing and showed me the ropes. You know, I'm still a little new to football, so it was great learning from those veteran guys like Aaron, X Jr., Rack, everyone. So I'm kind of just following behind them.
You mean new to football, like you just started playing recently?
I started my junior year, so I'm not really new anymore. But yeah.
There's so many new guys just kind of in general on this team, right? From your first year to this year. So what's it like kind of working with a new batch of guys, whether it be quarterback or receiver room, all those different things?
It's great. I love all these guys. You know, they're like brothers to me. So even though they're new, it kind of feels like I've known them my whole life. You know, we're really close. I think that's what creates the best team. We're like brothers here. So.
Brooks, like when you come into this spring game and you get a chance to get on the field, play in front of some fans, like what would you credit like the last year that got you ready for today? You know, because when you're just kind of sitting, watching, and learning, I feel like your first year for the most part.
It's kind of been a big jump, you know, just from watching to now. So I think all the hard work and dedication we've been through, it was nice being able to kind of show that today. So it paid off.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you to college life and Division I football?
I'd say the speed and the size of these guys, you know, just looking over and seeing the safeties, linebackers, like compared to high school, it's a whole different level. So I'd say the speed and the size.
How different is it for you as a receiver working with so many different types of quarterbacks?
I mean, I've been working with these guys a lot, so we kind of picked it up quick. And my roommate, Luke, he's a quarterback, so we spent a lot of time together. So I think that he's the one who threw me the touchdown, so I think that just goes to show the connection we have.
Tonight's kind of the culmination of the end of spring. So overall, how would you assess it, and how do you feel like where you guys are at as a wide receiver group and as an offense?
I think it was a grind, and it's nice to kind of be done with it, take a little break. But I think all these guys have worked their butts off, and we deserve this little break.
What's the story behind how you got started in football your junior year?
I played baseball my whole life, and the head coach, the head football coach at my high school, he's good friends with my family, and he would pull me out of class. His name's Dave Fogelstrom. He would pull me out of class 2 to 3 times every week, you know, kind of just basically telling me I have to play football. And one time I just gave it a chance, and the rest is history.
How surprised were you then when you got a college opportunity?
It kind of came pretty fast, so I was pretty surprised.
What do you love about the game?
Everything. I love competing. You know, I'm a big competitor, so I love competing. Even against my guys, like Kels was on the other side, we were kind of just chirping at each other the whole game. I think that's the best part.
Cash One Pawn has the most extensive inventory of any pawn shop in western Montana. Whether you're in the market for firearms, power tools, bows, video game consoles, or sunglasses, Cash One Pawn has the best deals around. And now Cash One Pawn gives you the ability to shop online from anywhere. Make CashOnePawn.com part of your shopping habits. Also make sure to download the Cash One Pawn app. Cash One Pawn, Missoula's premier pawn shop, located on Roller Coaster Road on the way to the Y.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Town Pump. Right down the road. Pump it up. Oh, yeah.
All right, Jake, I guess how did it feel to get out there and then for the first time for you kind of get to play in front of some of the Griz fans?
Yeah, it was fun to be here with some fans in the stadium finally. Had a good spring ball, but it's good to finally, put that work out in front of the fans, have some people here.
How'd you feel, yourself and the quarterbacks and the offense did today?
I thought we all played well. Kaylee, Luke, Blake, all the quarterbacks. I think we all put some good stuff out there. A lot of the offensive guys, we have a lot of weapons. Just got to get those guys the ball, and I think we did a good job of that today. And throughout spring, a lot of good stuff and a lot of stuff to work on, and we know that. And going through the summer and the fall, looking to attack that with that work.
What's the biggest difference between a spring game like this and the other 14 spring practices you guys went through?
That's a good question. I mean, it's the last one, so I think, we've had those 14 other practices to review the film and clean up some of that stuff, that we've had throughout spring so far. I thought we did a good job today of working through some of that stuff early on in spring. Spring's a time to kind of set that foundation. It's the first time all of us have, played together. And so I think, this practice kind of being able to build off that momentum that we built early on in spring is good.
As an older guy who's been around college football but new to a program, how do you sort of implement yourself and be one of the guys but also try to take a leadership role as a quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, these guys make it easy. Great guys to be around. It's a great locker room. Guys want to work hard, want to get better. And I think that fits me as well. So it's been good, really, coming in and fitting in the locker room, and the guys have made that easy adjustment.
I guess the crash course the last couple months for you, right? Just learning the system, learning your new teammates. Like, what's it been like for you since you got to Missoula back in the day?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously Missoula's an awesome place. First of all, that's been great. Love being up here. Love the coaching staff. Coach Steve has done a good job with me, some of the younger guys. Kind of getting us up to speed. So it's been great working with him and kind of getting that foundation for the offense set. So looking forward to build off of that going into the summer and the fall.
Your experience at USC is so different than a lot of other guys here. When you look at, you've got a lot of young guys around you. Where you look at Kale or some of these young receivers. So how have you maybe used some of your experience, some of your life experience to kind of teach some of these guys about, football or maybe just some things to expect just in life?
Yeah, I mean, football's a great opportunity, I guess there's a lot of correlation between football and life, and I think I've been able to, go through some of that and realize that. So it's been good to, get to know a lot of my teammates, their background, a lot of people from different places and all different backgrounds. So it's good to kind of mesh that all together as a team and, work on building that team atmosphere and that builds on to life as well.
Looking at some of these receivers, it's kind of a young core. So many guys are gone from a year ago. So what's it been like kind of working with some guys who are starting to see some of their first reps in college as well, and just kind of working with them, teaching them, and then just working with some new faces as well?
Yeah, a lot of young talent. Those guys have done a great job. Like I said, kind of with myself, getting up to speed with the offense, and really just going out and competing. Those young receivers, I think they've done a great job, and I'm excited. A lot of weapons for sure. So excited to keep working with them and building off that momentum that we built this spring.
Besides just, getting accustomed to the offense, what's something you wanted to come into this spring working on just individually and trying to, hone the craft of the quarterback for you?
Yeah, I think consistency is a big thing. Getting up to speed with the offense, and I think just really being able to build that consistency practice after practice, and that's something I got to work on and want to continue to work on in the summer and then in the fall.
How does this offense compare to other ones you've played in over the years?
Pretty similar. I think, Coach Keys does a good job of putting a lot of stuff together. He understands how to attack defenses. A lot of similar concepts that I've been used to. So it's been a good transition and learning. And Coach Keys has done a good job with coaching us and getting us ready for that.
And how did you end up here at Montana after you went in the portal?
Yeah, I mean, being from Utah, I've kind of always known about Montana and known about the tradition here. So when they reached out and I got that opportunity, it was a no-brainer for me. I made that decision. I got up on my visit, loved being up here, loved being around the coaches, around some of the guys, so it was an easy decision.
How would you describe yourself as a quarterback?
Yeah, I think I'm a level-headed player. Try to stay consistent, not get too high, too low. Try and lead by example. I think I do that. Work hard and just try and push the guys to get better.
And then working behind an O-line where they're moving guys around, just what's kind of stood out to you about that group this spring?
Sorry, what's that?
The O-line, just what stood out to you about that group this spring?
Yeah, the O-line, they've done a great job. A lot of big dudes, a lot of talent up there. A lot of guys that can play multiple positions up front. It's been great getting to know those guys, and they've done a great job this spring.
How do you carry momentum then from spring into the summer, then into the fall camp and into the season?
Yeah, it all starts with, getting back in the weight room, getting our bodies right, Bigger, stronger, faster, getting ready for fall, and then really just getting together, staying sharp on on our timing and concepts, getting in the film room, reviewing all the stuff from the spring and building off of it.
Arrested, and now you're wondering, do I need to hire a criminal defense attorney? And the answer is yes, you do. This is not the time to gamble with your future and with your freedom. Here at Ryan & Miller, we have over 40 years of experience with criminal defense, and we take it very seriously that we protect our clients' rights. So if you have any questions and want to know how our team can help you, make sure to give us a call today.